What does the best 17 look like for the Eels in 2025? It's going to be an interesting one. The zero tackle team here, we've already made our call and we're going to break it down for you in this video. But before we do that, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. We have plenty of NRL content coming out for you this year. With all that being said, let's go. Best 17 Eels. Before we get into it, make sure you're set for the new season with Zero Tackle's 2025 NRL Season Guide. The comprehensive season guide features over 120 pages of dedicated, detailed footy content ahead of the 2025 season, with profiles of every single player, team previews, fixtures, recruitment reports, and much, much more. Best of all, it's free. Get it now from zerotackle.com. All right, and here to break down the best 17 for the Parramatta Eels, Darren Parkin. Darren, Jason Ryles starts his tenure with a bit of pressure, but he's got some new faces coming in to help him along.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk around the Broncos last year not recovering from the grand final defeat to Penrith the season before. Well, Parramatta, obviously going back to 2022, have really struggled. It's been a disaster, really, for them since that particular night. Inability to retain junior talent, players getting poached to other clubs. Their forward pack obviously looks a little bit underwhelming heading into the new year. They've got a lot of questions sort of hanging over the head of Jason Ryles and a few of the others. Obviously, Papali, Lomax, Addo-Carr, some good new faces coming in. So there's certainly going to be a very different looking 17.
Yep, absolutely. Let's get into it with the backs. All right, so starting with the number one, so young fella Isaiah Iongi.
Yeah, new beginning with the coach, new beginning here at fullback as well. Clint Gutherson held that role for a long time, was a leader. There was speculation of his departure for quite some time, and so it proved to be. The off-season recruiting, I think, is a good one for them. Comes across from Penrith and looking for opportunities. And obviously we saw Blaze Talagi go the other way. It's basically a direct swap. So, he'll get the opportunity right from the start.
Yep. And the wingers, Bailey Simonson and Josh Addo-Carr, another new face.
Yeah, Bailey will be one of the first picks. Obviously, Sean Russell and Hayes Dunster are likely the next two wingers in line for these spots. Josh Addo-Carr, in terms of that suspension, gets the benefit of using that in the NRL All-Stars match. They struggled massively in his role last year. He's obviously no guarantee given some of the baggage that sort of comes with him, but his weaponry, he's done it at a really high level before. And even another one of their new recruits, Lomax, can play here if they need to, but we've got him somewhere else.
Yep. So speaking of Lomax, he is in the centres along with Will Penasini.
Yeah, Zach Lomax, excellent on the wing at the Dragons, but should get his desired move back into the centres, which is what he's wanted. Penasini's defied their horror 2 years to be one of their best. He's been a real positive over the last little period. So, hopefully they can keep that going. There's probably only a couple of players that have been bright sparks through that time, and he's definitely one of them.
Yep. And finishing off with the halves combination of Dylan Brown and Mitchell Moses as halfback.
Yeah, Mitchell Moses missed a lot of football last year. He's so crucial to their chances there at number 7. So he's a very important player. Dylan Brown, mixed form last year, and they've got to hope that his contract's not too much of a distraction. His future for 2026 and beyond is not locked away, but he's still an important cog in their lineup. Former bunny Dean Hawkins also will give them a bit of depth if required.
All right, so looking at the props now, so Joe Offengawi and Junior Paulo.
Yeah, forwards overall, bit of a restructure with Reagan Campbell-Gillard leaving the club. So new eras in a few areas for them. But, Joe Offengawi brings Origin experience, likely first choice. Parramatta could look to a couple of other options, Greg or Williams, if they're looking for something different. Junior Paulo, hard as a cat's head, as they say. Still capable of more. Lands a spot here for sure. And Jermaine Hopgood, also in that lock role. Madison, some chance to put pressure on for a spot here. He'll definitely get a run on the bench, but he could put some pressure on there for sure.
Yep. And then in the number 9, Brendan Hands.
Yeah, giving him first crack. It's likely to be a 1-2 punch. Joey Lussick coming off the bench. They don't have a lot behind that. The cupboard's pretty bare, but take your pick as to which one starts and which one comes off the bench. Might depend on matchups and change a bit through the season, but Brendan Hands first go.
Yep. And then the second roles of Sean Lane and Bryce Cartwright.
Yeah, Sean Lane, a great runner. He's a big big unit as well, can be a real weapon for them, and is definitely a walk-up. Bryce Cartwright, we spoke about the good news story earlier with Penasini. Cartwright, certainly one of those as well. In a dismal couple of years, he's worked hard. Second row is one of the positions where they're pretty well stocked, though. Matt Dory, they've also got Talagi as well, all battling to be next in line for those positions.
And rounding out the 17 with the interchange, so Lussick, as you mentioned, Ryan Madison, Tuilagi, and Jack Williams.
Yeah, Jack Williams' first season, he should feature, though. Joey Lussick, part of that double act at number 9. He'll play a lot this year. Ryan Madison can play prop or second row, definitely in the 17. So he's a lock to be in the team, could be on the ground, but we've certainly got him in there. And Tuilagi gives them some options in a depth sense as well. So, yeah, the balance not too bad, albeit an overall fairly inexperienced squad.
Well, that's our best 17 for the Eels. So looking at that as a full list, Eels fans should be pretty happy with that for a side that probably has kind of low expectations for this year. Their depth is looking all right.
Yeah, there's a few options they can try. So there's not a lot expected from them, but they've got a few things they can throw up there and sort of build towards the future. I mean, guys like Greg, Guymer, Mattiali, Moretti, Dory, Dunster, Russell, a lot of players that we haven't mentioned that could potentially push up and get a run throughout the course of the season. So there's enough depth there that they've got some things to work with.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year for the Eels this year. So that is our best 17. What do you guys think? Jump into the comments section and let us know who you would rather have in, who you would rather have out, or if we nailed it. I don't think we get that comment very often, but sometimes
you can be the first to tell us.
Yeah, great. Exactly. So jump in the comment section. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. We have plenty of NRL content coming out this year. We also have our season guide coming out this year, which you will want to get your hands on, and catch all the latest NRL news at zerotackle.com.